Welcome to Lynda Love's Q&A, saving hearts one girl at a time. The first question I have is from a lady in South Australia who wishes to remain anonymous, and she asks me this. I was just wondering if the guy I've been seeing since December sees me the same as I see him. Is this thing we have ever going to go further than where it is right now, or will I forever be confused? I've met his family and went on a trip with him to meet his mum. I have met his friends, both local and from other towns, but the mixed signals are intense and confusing. Please help me. What do I do? Do I wait or do I walk? I really feel ever so strongly for him. He's perfect. You know, this whole thing about mixed signals is incredibly painful for women. It's one of the biggest complaints that I hear about women who are in relationships, that on the one hand, he's really hot, coming on strong, everything's fantastic, and then on the next hand he seems to be backing off, doing strange things that are pretty much sending her mixed signals about how he feels about her. When you coach with me for a while, you learn about how men who are truly in love with the woman of their dreams never show you mixed signals. Their love for you is so clear and continually expressed very clearly by their actions and their words, and you're never left in any doubt. You're never questioning, is he into me? You're never feeling like you need to confront him and ask him where the relationship's going or why he's making you feel this way. So Miss Anonymous in South Australia, you ask me, do I wait or do I walk? It's kind of not as cut and dry as that. You don't really need to end the relationship with him. You don't need to say, this is over. The first thing that you need to do is pull back and observe how he responds. If you're initiating any phone calls or text messages, stop. If you're having conversations via text all the time, if you're having arguments via text, stop. If he's not asking you out on a date, and I mean a dinner date, if he's not courting you, taking you out to dinner, making you feel like a princess, don't see him. Don't hang out with him. Don't sit on the sofa at night watching movies until the wee hours. There are so many things that you can do to observe how he responds without having to straight out break up with him. It's not about waiting so much either. It's putting in some boundaries and then seeing how he responds to them. If he's crazy about you, he won't let you go. He will notice that you're pulling back, and that will scare him. He'll think he's losing you. And he will step up and start doing things to win your affections. But if he moves away, sometimes these guys, you never hear from them again once you stop initiating contact. You have your answer. It's pretty harsh, but it actually works. It works much better than trying to get some sort of verbal affirmation from him that everything's okay. Men tell you exactly what you want to hear to avoid confrontation and emotional episodes. You rarely get the truth when you confront a man. It's human nature. The real truth comes from observing how he responds to your boundaries. I now have a question from Alyssa from New Jersey. When texting between the first two dates, should we ask them a question in response to their question, such as, how was your weekend? My weekend was good. How about yours? Do we ever say, and you, either in person or on dates or in text? Also, do you believe in 4 exchanges on online dating, or do you give them 10 messages or 10-minute chats? First of all, let me answer your question about the 4 exchanges on online dating. Definitely, if he hasn't asked you out within 4 exchanges online, don't keep responding. These guys are sometimes hoping that you will take the initiative and ask them out, make it easy for them. They might just be looking for sex, something easy. They might be bored, looking for a bit of fun, entertainment for the evening. So definitely don't keep responding if he hasn't asked you out within 4 exchanges. Sometimes when you fade away and stop responding, he realizes he needs to do something to get your attention, and he will then ask you out. So usually very little comes from continuing on the chat beyond 4 exchanges. As for questions about how was your weekend and so forth, just say something like, great, thanks. There's no need to say, and you. It's showing too much interest. You've got to remember that it's the guy's job to do the work here, to ask you out, to set up the date, to prove himself worthy of your time and attention. So there's no need for you to perpetuate conversations in text, such as, and you, in response to his questions. However, on the phone or on the date itself, it may get a little bit awkward if you don't reciprocate a little bit. It's all about balance. Really what we're trying to avoid is online girls getting in these chat fests and having long conversations and getting to know these guys, or thinking they're getting to know these guys before they've even met them. It's just a waste of time. It's not until someone's sitting in front of you that you know that there is some sort of connection there. Especially for him, he needs to be sitting in front of you and feel your essence. So on a date, it's also, again, about not telling him your whole life story. It's maintaining your mystery. You've got to make him curious about you and not scare him off with too much talking. This is what you've got to think about all the time. It's not so much about being such a stickler for rules. Oh my gosh, if you ever say, and you, it's all over, you've messed the whole thing up. Think about what the reasoning is behind this. It's that so many women are going on these dates, going on online dating, on Tinder, having these incredible romances with guys that ends up leaving them heartbroken. This is what we're always trying to avoid in the end. It's protecting your heart. So to sum up, no, don't worry about saying and you or asking him how his weekend was in return. It just isn't important. He needs to ask you out on a date. If he hasn't, stop replying. Mariah from England asks, when a guy asks for a date for the following day, I know you turn him down, but when you do that, do you simply say you're not free and leave him to ask again? Or do you add on, maybe some other time, or maybe next week? Hi, Mariah. There is absolutely no need to help him along at all. If you say, I'm sorry, I have plans, don't add anything on to encourage him to ask you out again. It's got to come entirely 100% from him. It's really important not to make this whole setting of the date too easy for him. I can't say enough how the man putting in effort to get you on a date, how important that is to making him appreciate you and the date all the more. It's crucial for them. So no, you have plans, that's it. See what he does afterwards. If he fades away, that's not anything that you've done wrong. Just let him ask you out or not. It's as simple as that.